last night we saw one of Satan's greatest soldiers. That is Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers completed a comeback last night over his former team, the New York Jets. 34-32. Aaron went 22 of 30, had 244 yards passing, threw for 4 touchdowns. The defense did great. Jalen Ramsey telling y'all I am not watched yet with a huge hit on Johnny Gillface, aka Garrett Wilson, to win the game. And then, our boy Justin. Justin had a great game. Justin went 16-22, 218 yards passing, 1 touchdown, also rushed for 48 yards and had 2 touchdowns. The last play, we can debate if he should have ran. We can debate if Garrett Wilson should have touched it. Should have caught it. I don't think either one of those are inaccurate. I think that maybe Justin could have ran, but also Garrett Wilson, you should have held on to that ball, man. But I look at it like this. I don't want to put too much stock in it, but at the same time, this might be one of the worst combinations we've ever seen. Like, this is like when your homie links up with your like. I love Mike Tomlin. Like, he was a Bears coach. I love Mike Tomlin. He is one of the best coaches in the history of this league. He is Mr. Steeler at this point, and to see him throwing the fist up with this piece of shit makes me want to vomit. But at the same time, Aaron Rodgers, everybody who's been tortured by this man knew what was going to happen. I saw this in my sleep. For him to come back and win the game that he was able to win the way he did it. I unfortunately think this is a great thing for the Steelers because I said the Steelers, even in bad seasons, win 10 games. And I think this is a great start for him. And honestly, as much as I can't stand Rodgers, there's two things I respect about him. One, he kept that same energy with the Jets, and he got that win and showed them, hey, I'm not all the way washed yet. And something that don't even got nothing to do with this game. I like Ryan Clark. Met Ryan Clark. He's a cool guy. But Ryan Clark was talking all of that shit about this man. But then when he got up to camp, was doing that former Steelers shit and tried to get a interview with Aaron. And Aaron was like, nah, like, keep the same energy you had when you was talking about me on TV. So I got to respect the anti-vax on that. But this to me is not good because of my haterism when it comes to this man. But if you're a Steelers fan, you gotta love the way that this went because this is a good omen for the season. In my personal opinion, DK Metcalf is just going to get better. This defense is always good. Jalen Ramsey looking like he has a little bit enough. And for Jets fans, my only thing to tell y'all, don't get too high off the Justin Fields highs. Look, I hope that Justin has finally found a home. I've seen this game before, though. Many times. Many times I've seen this game. And I've also seen games where he don't know what he's throwing. So I wanna make sure we pace this the right way. He even had games like this with the Steelers. So that was my overall thoughts on this one. Courtney, what'd you take? We got to talk about the Packers and the Lions. Packers and Lions last night. The Packers put boot to ass on the Detroit Lions. Now we'll talk about how we feel about it from a Bears fan perspective. In a little minute, but man, I gotta say, I did not like what I like. Yesterday was one of the games where I was like, I won, but at what cost? Like, yes, the Lions look like they're selling themselves. I'm very clear that this can backfire on me next Sunday. By the way, I will be in Detroit. I will be in Detroit this weekend for the game with my Detroit family members. So I'm very clear this could definitely backfire on me by this time next week. But in the meantime, which is what the NFL season is about, you talking shit. So I liked what I saw from Detroit. But Green Bay looked like how I was scared that they would look. They looked freakish. Did you see that Michael Parsons sack on Jared Goff? Like, he knocked like 4 dudes out the way. It was like a lion chasing a gazelle, and he just like took him down, bro. And it's like, the thing that looked scary to me was Micah's clearly on a snap count. He's not 100%. And all you got, my opinion on Jordan Love has not changed, but Jordan Love can make the plays that can dice your ass up because LaFleur knows how to game plan for him. And that is the worst thing. Like, they just didn't give up. And I haven't seen a Lions team really since Ben Johnson took over look as dry offensively as they did. Defensively, I forgot Hutch was on the field. Like they weren't doing anything. The offensive line, which is their prized offensive line, which is like the soul of their team, got flat out worked. Not just by Micah, but the entire Packers defensive line. And I think this is a statement win for the Packers because okay, this is our division. You know, we're gonna get back to this. Now from the Bears, I'm like, yo, we need to establish a little bit more order in this division. It needs to get back to just being the Bears, Packers, and we gonna put the Vikings and the Lions back their little ass place they need to be. But as a Bears fan, I was like, okay, this isn't good. But it was a masterful performance. I think for the Lions, now you're gonna start to think. I'm not saying that their mentality is done, but if they lose next week to us, oh, it's gonna be DEFCON 1 on 8 Mile. But Dante, what did you see yesterday from that game?
I mean, it's a reason I said that the Green Bay Packers will win a Super Bowl within the next 3 years. I think Mike is that good. I think that coaching staff is that good. And you're talking about the youngest team in the NFL. So with Jordan Love, it comes to a point, and we talk about this often with young quarterbacks. If I can put you in a situation where, hey, bro, don't lose this game for me. Just don't lose it for me. You don't have to go out and win it. And he allowed him to grow into that and, earn his stripes, take his licks, and then become that guy that can go win you a game. But for right now, with the talent you have as the youngest team in the league, like you said, it is scary. But also, I won't say scary because we talked about this 2 seasons ago before we got slapped back down in reality. At the end of the day, if the Bears want to beat a man, you got to beat the man. So we're going to have to go through Green Bay regardless. So I know we have our hesitancies to just say the Bears are ready, and we'll get into that in the local hour. But in terms of the Packers, they look great, like I expected them to. And like I said, in the next 3 years, I think they will win the Super Bowl. But for Detroit, this is one where you have to start asking the questions because it's easy to just say, oh, well, Ben wasn't there, so the offense is going to be garbage. The majority of the players are still the same. So it's about finding that cohesion. Finding that rhythm, because now you have a new guy calling the plays who, he's going to do things his way. I'm sure there aren't too many things that are different about that offense outside of terminology, especially with Ben being in the division. You don't want to have the same terminology when you go up and play the Bears. But I think for Detroit, it's just more so you need to take a step back and take a deep breath and not overreact in this situation, because you're a team who was just, in a position to battle for a Super Bowl last year. So, the last few years. So if that's the case, you still have the talent. You still have an extremely good football team. So you got to just take a step back and not overreact to this. But if you are anybody in the NFC North, it's like, yeah, we're going to have to get it together because the Packers not going nowhere for a long time, bro. The youngest team in the league, Micah 27. You're going to have to consistently bring in talent. And I'm hoping that this put every general manager on, well, especially ours. Ryan Poles, hey, you see what they're doing. You see how they're building. You know that you can't have shaky drafts. You can't, half-ass free agency. You have to go out and get it because the Packers are going to be there every single year. Kind of like you said, in the 90s and 2000s when we were kids, it was the Packers. Like, we know what it is. We know what it's going to be. So, it's going. Our division is definitely going to be a dogfight, and I think next week will tell us a lot. Even though you still have 15 more weeks, next week will tell us a lot about the trajectory of the Lions. It's when they come and play the Bears. Well, when they play the Bears at home.
When it comes to Ryan Poles, I'm like that clip of Jose Marino. He said, I don't want to get in trouble. If I speak, I'm in trouble. That's how I feel when it comes to Ryan Poles, because he definitely got a burner account somewhere. So I'm going to keep my opinions on the Bears general manager myself. But I agree. And I think with getting Micah Parsons and paying him that expensive contract, that's not a Packers thing they do. Packers don't do shit like that. So if you're a Packer fan, you're hoping this is an investment by the Packer board to, okay, if there comes to position players we want to spend money to help our young quarterback out, we're going to do that. And no matter what you think about Jordan Love is on the same accord as his head coach. Matt LaFleur is one of the best head coaches in the NFL, one of the best play callers in the NFL. He knows how to not put Jordan Love in harm's way. Now, Jordan Love has an extreme bozo gene that despite the protection that Matt LaFleur gives him, he can still put himself out there and look crazy. But look, like I said, I don't want to overreact too much, even though it is Overreaction Monday. It's one game, but they looked damn good, and that's scary. We're going to get to the big catch. I'm Not Gonna Hold You, hosted by Scott Lewis, every Monday and Friday at 5 p.m. Eastern, 2 p.m. Pacific, only on HMB Media and the Barber's Chair Network.